What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. So, for those of you who do not know, I do not currently own any cryptocurrencies across any of my portfolios. At one point, I did own a couple of Bitcoin when it was down at $3,000 or $4,000. Since then, I have sold them as well. I did own almost 257,000 Dogecoin at a quarter of a penny. I did sell them as well at about 1 cent. And made a good profit. Obviously not as much as I could have if I would have held, but a lot of people have been asking me about Bitcoin, and I posted a couple of weeks ago on my Facebook and on my Instagram, which you should go follow. My social media links, they're all down below, about Bitcoin and about how I thought that we were going to see a pretty significant fade in overall crypto from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Litecoin, all of those. And I talked about why I saw that happening. Now, since then, we did get a significant fade on Bitcoin and on Ethereum and on Dogecoin. I'm just going to talk about all of those in this. And from that point, we still have not fully broken down or broken out from this squeeze. So in this video, I want to go over the squeeze. I want to talk about the squeeze. I want to talk about overall where I see Bitcoin going and why I see this setup, and overall what you can do as an investor or potentially even as a trader to get ready for a potential fade, and what would have to happen for that to be confirmed. So guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get started. So as far as Bitcoin is considered, one of the first things I like to do all the time is look at a super wide time frame. So if we're looking at the past essentially 10 years, Bitcoin has been trading at some major levels. You can see that over the past 9 months, really since October of last year, this thing has been on an absolute massive push up, followed by a significant pullback. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, you can see these major price levels that I've already drawn out. So the first price level that I drew out was this resistance at $16,250, which we used as a resistance multiple times back in January of 2018. We did break out for a little bit up to $20,000, where we tapped out at that time all-time highs before Bitcoin took a significant fade all the way back down to about $3,000, where we sat there for essentially a couple of weeks before bouncing back up, pulling back, and then once again starting to move its way up. Now, it was around this time that I started thinking to myself, maybe I'll take a position in Bitcoin, but I never ended up doing it. Now you can see once again we pushed back up, we tapped nearly 14,000, pull back down off that 200-day SMA. So also please remember, this is a weekly chart, so each candle you see is representing 7 trading days, because crypto never sleeps. So we came back up, we pulled back on the 200-day SMA, we pushed up and tapped that resistance of $16, pushed up again, tapped that resistance of $20,000, and from that point on, we just broke out massively. We pushed all the way up to resistance again at $30,000, all the way up to resistance again at $42,000, all the way up to all-time highs. We pulled back. We tried to hold this support level. And if I go to the daily chart, if you look at the weekly, it doesn't look like there was much price movement within that area. But if you look at the daily, you can see how intense these price movements were. We had this big push up, and then from here you can see we had this good bull flag that was breaking out here, broke out, pushed up, and then this is what we were initially talking about. So then we had this divergence that was forming here. So a divergence occurs when we make higher highs, but the RSI makes lower highs. So if you look here, the stock was making higher highs, but if you look on the RSI, the stock was actually making lower highs the entire time that we were making those higher highs, which shows that the strength of the movement is getting weaker. That could be, in an uptrend, the strength of the uptrend is getting weaker. You can also have a bearish divergence, which means that as the stock is going down, the RSI is making higher lows, which shows that potentially it could reverse, which is sort of what we're seeing on TAL right now, where we're making lower lows, but the RSI is making higher lows. So going back to Bitcoin quickly, you can see that we're making this divergence, which is showing that there's a huge weakening happening each and every high that we have. Now, it doesn't always have to happen, a pullback on a bearish divergence, but like 90% of the time it does happen, especially the more higher highs that we create with these lower highs in the RSI. So we had this big spill where Bitcoin went from $60,000 all the way down to $30,000. So literally within 8 days, massive haircut, 50% of the price of Bitcoin got cut off. Then we had a good continuation pattern. So basically we consolidated for a little bit within this bear flag and then dumped again. And this right here, it was right within this area that I called that Bitcoin was going to take a big push downwards, as well as Ethereum. So from the time I called it out, about 8 days later, it pulled another 30% off the price of Bitcoin. But what I was not accounting for, we bounced off of this major support. Now, if you saw the post or any of the short little videos I made, I said that there was a decent chance that Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think Ethereum's price target was like 1,800, but that Bitcoin could bounce off of that support of $30,000. And we did that. And since then, Bitcoin has really just been sitting sideways with these micro 10% moves really for the past 20 something days. Now you can see the same setup sort of on Ethereum that we were talking about. And this is the area that I was originally speaking of on Ethereum, was at $2,000. So we had this big push up. This is where I was calling the Ethereum dump. Ethereum dumped all the way down to support, and we held the support of $19,000. I'm sorry, $1,900. And the 200-day SMA is really, really, really what I'm watching for. Now, as far as Bitcoin and Ethereum is considered, Ethereum is the one that I really think is going to take this move down to 1,400. So Ethereum currently right now is below the 200-day SMA, which is not a good sign. MACD just crossed a couple days ago, and the histogram is making a lower low, which is not a good sign. The RSI is pointing straight down, which is not a good sign. And the on-balance volume is going lower and lower, which means less and less volumes coming into the stock, which is not good. As of right now, if we were to snap 1900, how we are right now, we were to fall down to 1800, it would be a very quick fade down to 1450, which is where I see Ethereum going, probably within the next month. Now, if Ethereum can pull down to 1400, we're probably going to bounce. If we don't bounce, I would expect Ethereum all the way down to $600, but I do not believe that will happen. Short term, within the next month, I do believe Ethereum will be down at about $1,450, and that is where I will be looking to purchase some Ethereum coins, probably $6,000 worth is what I'm thinking. Same situation with Bitcoin now. So with Bitcoin, same thing. Looking like we're going to snap the support that we're at right now. If we were to snap support at $30,000, it would move all the way down to 20 grand, and 20 grand I believe is a very good price for Bitcoin. If we were to snap 20 grand, it's going down to $16,000. Overall at Bitcoin too, we have this inverse cup and handle. So I am bearish on crypto in the short term as of right now, and the same situation going on with Dogecoin. Now, Dogecoin's a little different because this fell off harder than any other coin that's in the major public eye right now. So it looks like Dogecoin's probably going to move down to 18 cents. And if we snap 18 cents, we're going all the way down to about 90 or 0.09 cents. So, or I'm sorry, 9 cents, we'll call it. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, I believe there's a lot of downside for crypto in the short term. Long term, I do believe in Bitcoin, Ethereum. But those are the price levels that I'm watching. I've had a lot of people ask me about it, so I wanted to do a video on this main channel talking about the areas that I'm looking to enter, what are some support and resistances, and I hope that this video helped you. If you guys are interested in crypto, I just did a podcast with my friend Chris Plaguescape. He is the head of crypto trading over at my personal and private academy. We talk about Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, NFTs, everything that you can think of when it comes to investing in Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and crypto in general. So go and check that podcast out. I'll put the link down below. Thank you guys for all the support. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.